Welcome to the Foolish Wanderers podcast.
Why must I be surrounded by fools?
Welcome, Wanderer.
Hey Wanderers, welcome back to the Foolish Wanderers podcast, the podcast about anything and everything. Today, we're talking about the most ridiculous ways that the CIA has tried to kill Fidel Castro. And there's like over 600, so.
638, apparently.
Oh boy.
To be maybe precise. I don't know.
Precise.
Maybe. Allegedly.
Before we begin, don't forget that our new episodes launch every Wednesday. You can find us basically anywhere you find podcasts. So it's like Apple, Spotify, Pandora, Alexa. Hey Alexa, play Foolish Wonders podcast.
Whoop whoop.
Don't forget to share it with your friends, your family, and your dog. Or your cat.
Or your fish.
Hey, fish. Yeah,
We
fish
don't
like
judge.
things. Yeah, or plants. I heard plants like listening to stuff.
This is the best way for plants to grow, is listening to this specific podcast.
Studies have shown that they actually grow a lot better with listening to the Foolish Wanderers podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Gives them something to laugh at. So.
Plants love the fools.
Alright, should we get started?
Let's get started. Okay, so before we dive into this, I think we kind of have to say who Fidel Castro is. Just like a little history lesson. Okay. So, who is Fidel Castro? So, Fidel Castro he's the father of the Cuban Revolution, and he ruled the country as a dictator for 49 years. So, from 1959 to 2008. So, that's almost 5 decades in which the United States was ruled by 10 different presidents. So, that's how many presidents he saw.
That's nuts.
And that's a lot.
How old was he when he...
He was 90 when he died
When
in
he died,
2008.
okay.
Yep.
So, but like when he first became the dictator, like the leader, was he like in his 50s or was he... You Google?
Oh, I have to Google this. You always throw me some freaking curveball.
Sorry.
I gotta look this up now.
Sorry, not sorry.
I gotta read a freaking paper.
Okay, let me Google. Okay, so he was born in 26.
Mm-hmm.
And then he was president from 76 to 2008, so about 50 years old. Yeah, that actually makes pretty easy math.
Yeah, we're just,
about 50.
Yep, about 50. Thank you.
Yeah.
I pulled that out of this Cuban Revolution book, The Complete History of Cuba. So
Of Cuban, the sandwich?
I love a Cubano. That's one of my favorite sandwiches. Oh, those are so good. Okay, people, we gotta get back. I don't even know where I was. I think I literally was at the first. I think I was literally at the first freaking sentence.
Yeah.
Oh my god! Look at what you do. All right, people. So over 40 when he became president. So some people saw Castro as a fearless dictator and a communist, even worse than the Soviets. And while others saw him in like a better picture as a liberator and someone who believed in social equality. Castro became very well known around the world during the Cold War, especially during the Cuban Missile Crisis, which I think everybody knows, but nobody really knows like what it actually was.
Like, you know what happened, but not all the details.
Of course, not all the details. We never do.
Well,
but,
no.
But anyway, as a communist, he tried to stay close to the Soviets during the Cold War, because they were either the first or number 2 power in the entire world. Yeah. However, he never trusted anyone, which is one of the reasons he was never murdered, despite the many attempts by agencies all over the world. And the one we're going to talk about today, the CIA.
Oh boy.
I actually saw he was such a paranoid person that he would wear like a bulletproof big thick vest underneath his hideous clothes. Because if you look at pictures of Fidel Castro, he's always wearing this UPS driver jumpsuit.
I mean, when you're in that level of power, yeah, you
I'm
might be a little bit paranoid.
No, I'm there's no excuse for the fashion. I'm gonna wear freaking Gucci and I'm just gonna be insanely tacky and ostentatious. Oh, he definitely did. That's all that he wore.
Yeah.
Except in the later years of his life, he got some style and he started wearing Adidas tracksuits.
Ooh,
so
snazzy.
I was like, that's some snazzy. I think he was trying to make up his relationship with Russia because it went sour. So I think he was like, I'll just wear Adidas tracksuits to try and get Russia back in favor with the Russians. It didn't work.
Okay.
That's just my little theory. But Adidas tracksuits are very classy, and I love them. Okay,
Do you have one?
Well, of course.
Okay.
I have many of them. That's one of my favorite travel outfits. Okay, we got to get back to this. So, the United States Central Intelligence Agency, the CIA, is one of the most powerful and corrupt agencies in the entire world. But they were no match for Fidel Castro. The CIA made numerous unsuccessful attempts to assassinate Fidel Castro during his time as the president/dictator of Cuba. So many attempts that there's a Wikipedia page about it.
There's a Wikipedia page about everything.
I know, but like this is supposed to be like top secret stuff. Like that's how many times like it slipped out, and now there's a Wikipedia page, and that's how I found about it. Because I happened upon this
About a Wikipedia page?
About this specific like assassination attempt
really?
on Fidel Castro.
Oh wow.
Because I went down this JFK. Oh my gosh. You know, I went down the horrible rabbit hole of the JFK assassination conspiracies, and one of them is that Fidel Castro hired Lee Harvey Oswald to kill him. And then that went to like, it was because Kennedy tried to kill Castro so many times, and then that sent me to.
Weird.
Anyways, Wikipedia can be a very time-consuming place, but I love it. All right, people. So we got to have some more background to this story, okay? So following World War II, the United States became secretly engaged in a practice of international political assassinations and attempts on foreign leaders. All right, here's some list. The British Czech Operation Anthropoid, the killing of SS officer Reinhard Heydrich, but I mean he's an SS officer, so he was a Nazi.
Yeah.
Let's see. Who else? I can't pronounce half of these things.
Yeah, it's
a lot of stuff.
You picked a hard list.
I don't know why I did. A failed British attempt to kill Field Marshal Erwin Rommel and Operation Vengeance, the shooting down of Isoroku Yamamoto by the U.S. Air Force. And they also they created a sort of chaos in Vietnam that ended up killing the Vietnam president.
Oh, shit. Okay.
So they've done a lot of sketchy stuff. We all know that. So for a long period of time, the U.S. government officials, they denied any knowledge of this program because, it would be really stupid and against the United Nations Charter. But on March 5th of 1972, Richard Helms, who was the CIA director of that time, he declared that, quote, no such activity or operations be undertaken, assisted, or suggested by any of our personnel. In 1975, the U.S. Senate created the Church Committee. They uncovered that CIA and other governmental agencies used a so-called tactic of plausible deniability during decision-making related to assassinations. CIA subordinates were deliberately shielding shielding. That's a horrible word I used. But yeah, shielding the higher. I don't know. It sounds awkward.
Okay.
But they were deliberately shielding the higher-ranking officials from any responsibility by withholding the full amount of information about planned assassinations. But I mean, everybody does this, but the CIA does it the best. Now we're jumping. So over 15 years ago, the former head of the Cuban intelligence, so this would be like Cuba's version of this like secret service.
Okay.
Okay, so if I mess up his name, I'm so sorry to that man. Fabian Escalante, he was in charge of protecting Castro. Okay, so head of the Cuban Secret Service. He told a British documentary team that the CIA had tried to kill Fidel Castro more than 600 times over a period of about 40 years. So there's a good documentary from I think 2006 that's called I literally think it's 638 times the CIA tried to kill Castro
That's the
documentary.
name. Okay.
I think it's something along that way, but it's really good and you should watch it.
So he was around. So Escalante was around for all 600 times plus that they tried to kill him.
I don't know
Or-
that, but I think
Okay.
that maybe, I don't know. But I mean,
He like knew of him and
Yeah.
was like,
Mhm.
okay.
so I like this whole story because it just sounds like it's something out of Wile E. Coyote and the Roadrunner. And the CIA epically failed in killing Castro. Like their ways are, we're gonna get into it. It's hilarious. The CIA, one of the most powerful, dangerous agencies in the entire world, they
Mhm.
so epically failed in killing Castro. They were so bad at it that
Mhm.
they did not kill the Cuban leader, and he was just able to die of natural causes at the age of 90. That's how long that's
Oh,
how long they failed. Is
that's really sad, actually.
he just died of at the age of 90. He was just like, I live longer than most people. Peace out. And he died
Nice
in
to
like
see
his
it.
tracksuit.
Oh my.
So some things that the CIA say and other historians are like, is Escalante exaggerating? We don't really know. But
Mhm.
from declassified CIA reports, like the church committee that we are talking about, as well as a testimony of some would-be assassins and spies and stuff, that the agency did try to kill Castro plenty of times, and not all of these times, like these were plots. These plots weren't executed. They were just like crazy ideas that they have planned out to do, but they just never did it.
Okay.
So a lot of these ridiculous plots, they're so crazy that only like a Hanna Barbera character could come up with them.
So you just like sit in a room of like these high intelligence people and just like, how should we kill him today? They're like,
I
oh,
don't
I
know.
got some
So
TNT, you know?
I think it's like important to say that the CIA, like these plots, they were deliberately trying to make it look like Castro died from an accident.
Oh,
Because
okay.
remember, this is a time where it's like very like on the verge of nuclear holocaust, basically.
Yeah, so you don't mess with stuff.
So they want to make it deliberately so it looks like he just like slipped on a banana peel and snapped his neck, or like
Oh,
a piano supposedly fell from the sky and landed on him,
hasn't
stuff
that
like that.
happened actually? Someone actually died from that?
Oh yeah. Anyways, okay, so by the time the Kennedy administration ended, remember Kennedy didn't really serve a full term, which is 4
Yeah.
years in
Mhm.
America. So they had tried to kill Castro 42 times, according to Escalante.
Wow.
hmm a series of newspaper reports in the 1970s led to a government investigation of the CIA's abuse of power. President Ford banned political assassinations in 1976, but
Probably
I
for good
mean,
reason.
did he ban them? Probably not. But according to Escalante, they continued for 2 more decades, including in the 90s under President Clinton.
Oh boy.
So this is a list of Escalante's list of assassination attempts per U.S. administration. So everybody, get out your calculators, boys and girls. Here we go. So under President Eisenhower, there was apparently 38 attempts to kill Castro. Under President JFK, there was 42. Under Johnson, 72. Nixon, apparently 184.
Oh my
And
gosh.
he didn't serve a full term either. President Carter, 64. President Ronald Reagan, 197. That jelly bean eating fiend wanted to kill him 197 times. Bush Sr., only 16. And then Clinton, 21 times. Okay, Katrina, do you have a grand total for me?
634.
We're missing 8.
Unless did I miss?
Or are
I
we
don't think
missing
I missed.
2? I don't even know.
Yeah, I think.
We're missing 4?
What's wrong with your research?
I don't know. What's wrong with your math?
Probably a lot.
I'm doing this again. I don't want to be
Yeah,
getting.
634.
Oh my god! I swear to. I swear.
Unless
Oh
it
my
could have
god! I
been
got
like
it too.
it could
All
have
right,
been
we
just
have
like
4 that are unaccounted for. That's all I'm gonna
that's
say.
fine.
Don't come at
It's
me.
it's fine.
I swear. I googled this stuff.
It's already enough times.
Yes. It's already too many times. People don't be complaining about we missed 4. We'll just give them to Ronald Reagan and make it like 201.
He's that onto his list.
That's hilarious. He's like, Okay, we're gonna get into some funny like they're pretty funny. So funny ways, okay?
Okay.
Here we go. I call this one close, but no cigar. All right. So before we get into this Castro, if you know anything really sort of like stereotype, like are these stereotypes about him? I don't know. He's wears like a jumpsuit, look like a mailman jumpsuit.
Mhm.
Smokes, loves cigars, loved ice cream, and loved swimming naked, diving. But like he loved to swim naked. Okay.
Fair enough.
Fair enough.
I
And he had a
guess.
big beard and he
Yeah.
oh, also he loved to do very long-winded speeches. He has the Guinness World Record for the longest speech. And
Oh, right. How?
it was in like you gotta Google this. I don't know this off the top of my head, but it's like 1962. I think it's either 4 hours and 30 minutes long or 3 hours and 40 minutes long. But that's how long his speech was.
Wow.
Mm,
What was the second place? Like an hour?
It was 10 minutes. It's this. It's this podcast. It's this podcast right now.
Okay.
They're waiting outside to give me my award. All right, people, here we go. Exploding cigar. So this happened in 1966. So a newspaper reported that in 1967, that a year earlier, 1966, the CIA had approached a New York City police officer with the idea of slipping Castro a cigar packed with enough explosives to take his head off.
Oh, ew.
This has never been confirmed though. We know the CIA did use cigars for another separate assassination attempt in 1960. So in 1960 the CIA they laced a box of Castro's favorite kind of cigars with poison, but the
Oh,
package never
ew.
made it to him.
They probably found something in it. Like, nope, check it out.
Oh, I mean he was extremely paranoid.
Yeah. So why did they just like randomly tell this New York police officer that this is what they're doing?
I don't
Like,
know.
that doesn't
Maybe
make
they did, maybe they didn't. Maybe they're doing that just because they knew that you would think it doesn't make any sense years later. I don't know.
me specifically.
Mhm.
Okay.
Okay, we're moving on to exploding seashells. So this happened in 1963. So Castro loved diving as almost as much as he loved cigars and ice cream, but he dove
Okay.
naked. Remember this. And the CIA looked into the idea of luring him to his doom with a large, brightly painted seashell packed with explosives. It would be rigged to explode and then dropped in an area where Castro commonly went diving. The CIA purchased a large number of shells for this purpose, but there's no evidence the weaponized shells were ever deployed.
Okay, so like this one, I know they're trying to make it seem like it's a natural
But
causes
he
thing.
blows up in.
By picking up a seashell.
They were like,
that's
"Well, that was a bad one. That was a bad clam."
that's a prehistoric animal that just finally gave up.
That's how, like,
You
you
know,
couldn't think of, like, a shark attack or something?
something like that. You know, not a shell.
Like, I've got one for you, like, replace his soap with some, like, fish oil or something, like, fishy, and
Oh,
then, like, put a
he'd
bunch of
smell it though.
I don't know what he can smell and can't smell. Um, and then put some maybe, like, chum the waters where he's gonna go swim, and then put a bunch
Ew.
of sharks in there that haven't eaten in a few days, and I would've done that.
I mean, that sounds more likely than exploding seashell.
Mhm.
Yeah.
See, I should work at the CIA.
Or written Hanna Barbera cartoons, you know.
That too. Okay, we're gonna move on to this one. This one's crazy. So
Okay.
this is the flesh-eating wetsuit. So
Oh,
this is in
ew.
1961. So this plan got really far. The gadget's arm of the CIA dusted the inside of a diving suit with fungus that caused a chronic skin disease, and they put tuberculosis in the breathing apparatus of
Oh my.
the mask and stuff. So so all they needed to do was to get Castro to put it on. It was decided that a high-profile American lawyer who had been leading negotiations with Castro would become their unwitting accomplice, and then present the suit to Castro. And the plan fell apart when the man was tipped off by the CIA lawyer. So this was supposed to happen right in the middle of the Bay of Pigs invasion.
Okay.
So, and then in 1975, the Senate Intelligence Committee, remember, they claimed it had concrete evidence of a plan to offer Castro the wetsuit lined with spores. and bacteria that would give him the skin disease and tuberculosis. So the plan, again, remember, involved the high-profile American lawyer. The American lawyer is apparently James B. Donovan.
Okay.
So he was there to try and negotiate the release of Bay of Pigs prisoners.
Why would you try to mess with that?
Because they had prisoners, because you know.
Yeah, but I mean, like, try to kill this guy like in the middle of like this.
I don't know. Anyway, the lawyer got freaked out and he
Yeah.
gave Castro a different diving suit.
Well, yeah, like, okay, first of all,
Yeah, I would do the same thing. I'd be like, I'm scared.
like, first of all, he dives naked, right?
Yeah. Also, he goes skin diving, which is naked. So none of this would ever worked.
No, and then two, like, why would you put this guy like in danger? Because like Donovan in danger, because it would have been traced back to him very quickly, and it would
Oh,
have gotten.
and they would never gotten the prisoners out.
Yeah, like I'm very glad this never happened because
This is insane. Isn't this already insane? We're already gonna get even into crazier stuff. There's
Okay.
crazier stuff than this.
I'm excited. Okay.
This is 40 years of just nuts. And this is the stuff that you can have public record of. Okay, are you ready for the next one?
Yes.
All right. Character assassination.
Oh no.
So the idea was to undermine Castro's public image by making him behave strangely when he was doing a public speech to the nation. So to do this, the CIA would spray the broadcasting studio, the whole, like, spray the room with like Febreze. But not Febreze. So instead of Febreze or like Moonlit Path or whatever, they sprayed it with a chemical that was similar to LSD,
Oh my gosh.
and that would make Castro then hallucinate on air. So he would just like trip balls while trying to address the people of Cuba.
So they just like flood like the air vents or something, or were they like
No,
walk
I
into
said
Febreze
Katrina,
bottles?
Katrina, I literally said some person's going in there with like a Febreze
Febreze.
bottle. Like some
Okay.
Chanel number 5 looking spray bottle, spray the whole room with just like LSD particles, and then Castro would just go in there, breathe it in, and it trip balls.
Oh, like before he goes. I thought I meant like while he's on air, and I was
No,
like,
this
that's
is like before.
Oh, okay.
So he would
That
just
makes sense.
hallucinate on air. It would just kick in on air while he
He's
was
like, you had to do like right before he gets in there, then, unless you like saturate like the pillow, like any surface around him.
I
with
mean,
it.
he does have the world record for the longest speech ever.
That's
So
true.
he
She can breathe it
is
in eventually.
he's a long-winded speaker. So
That's very true.
Oh, and another idea was to give him a box of cigars that would like disorient him while he was doing a speech on television.
Would he smoke while he's on air, or just
I
hold it?
I don't know. I've seen pictures of him standing up there in his little UPS outfit, like smoking a cigar.
Okay,
I mean, he was up there for like hours sometimes.
that's true. I suppose like
He gets bored. If I was a dictator, I would be up there in a Canadian tuxedo, like eating a cheeseburger.
why not like a Have you heard of beaver tails? Like the
No, what's that?
it's like a fried. It's like similar. I want to say to like a donut. It's like a fry bread, and they put cinnamon sugar or like other toppings on it, and it's like the shape of a beaver tail. It's a Canadian thing.
I'm not Canadian.
But you said a Canadian suit.
I wear those all the time, the denim on denim.
Yeah.
I love it. Doesn't mean I'm gonna go eat freaking Tim Hortons potatoes or well, they don't have potatoes, they have donuts.
No, they don't. They
have
they're
donuts.
coffee and donuts.
Yeah, not
Good job.
potatoes. I think I just had a craving for potatoes and I just said potatoes instead.
Yeah. But do they have breakfast now? I don't know. We
I
have
don't
them around here.
know.
Let me Google it.
No, I don't want to know. I want to tell you about another scheme from the CIA.
Okay.
Okay, here we go. Another scheme was to dust the inside of Castro's shoes with a chemical that would make him like his beard would fall out. So we're gonna get into this next one. I'm gonna call it Beard Be Gone.
So it's like a bad like Shark Tank product.
Yeah. Okay. So according to that 1975 Senate Intelligence Committee report, remember the one I've been talking about?
Mm-hmm.
So the US believed that messing with Castro's beard was messing with the man's power. It would like make him lose his mojo.
I mean, honestly, like if you look at at history, the beard and like your hair is very symbolic. So by losing that, you're kind of you mess with their head a little bit.
Maybe. So the CIA figured that the loss of the beard would show the Cubans that Castro was weak and fallible. So this definitely is a half-baked scheme. So this
Hmm.
half-baked scheme was hatched to use thallium salt and the chemical in hair removal products such as Nair. So they would put that in Castro's shoes or in his cigar, and the chemical would be absorbed or inhaled and cause his beard to fall out.
See, I feel like the cigar is much more likely because your shoes, I feel like that'd take a while to absorb through even your feet.
Through the bottom of your feet. Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
know. That's an
and
yeah.
like, would they just do it like the day of? Would it affect you that quickly? That's kind of terrifying if it is.
Oh gosh, I
It's
hope not.
like the day of. Plus, wasn't he like super like cautious? Wouldn't he have like checked to make sure no one touched his shoes or like touched anything?
Probably. I mean, they never even tried it, so
Yeah,
I
so
just
probably
can't
like.
believe. What I can't believe is that after all these, we've seen like the bomb in the cigar, poison in
Hmm.
cigar,
Yeah.
stuff that will make his beard fall out in the cigar,
Hmm.
LSD in the cigar. Why is he still smoking cigars?
Probably like a culture thing, and then also just
He likes it.
yeah, he likes it. It's probably
He
like
likes it too much. All right, we're moving on to the femme fatale plot.
okay, okay.
So Marita Lorenz, she was one of the many women Castro counted as a mistress. She allegedly accepted a deal from the CIA in which she would feed him capsules filled with poison.
Oh no.
Very on the nose. She managed to get as far as smuggling the pills into his bedroom in her jar of cold cream. But the pills dissolved in the cream, and she doubted her ability to force feed Castro face lotion.
I
And
wonder
also, she
why.
just chickened out. So, according to Lorenz, Castro somehow figured out her plan and offered her his gun. I can't do it, Fidel, she told him. And
Like
he just let her go, also, after they
that's
did it.
I think that's interesting that he just let her go after she like agreed to try to kill him. Right? Isn't that like a little?
Yeah,
But anyway,
I mean, allegedly she did this. Maybe she did. Maybe she just wanted attention. I don't know.
yeah. But like, how are you gonna force feed him lotion? Just like sit down and just like here, have a spoonful of. Would you like some hot tea with a side of lotion?
How is
Like,
she gonna, like, why would the plan be, oh, just feed him capsules filled with poison?
I feel like if you put it in something like a tea or like a drink or something, or like mix it in with something else you're eating, but like
Hmm.
in like you sneak it in with your cold cream, like that's
Face lotion, yeah.
face lotion, like that. With food, I get that, but like in beauty products, that's
Like, eat this, it's edible. You can
yeah.
put it on your face and your. It's just like,
It's
it's
like,
good.
delicious. It's like a snack in the middle of the night. Just lick it.
It'll give moist. It'll give moisture to make your esophagus lining
Oh,
less dry.
oh, gross.
I don't know what she. That one is so weird to me.
Oh
All right,
man.
this one's pretty creepy though. The
Okay.
ball. So this next one is called the ballpoint hypodermic syringe. So
Okay.
this was the plan. An ordinary looking pen would be rigged with a hypodermic needle so fine, so tiny that Castro wouldn't notice when someone innocently bumped into him with the pen and injected him with extremely potent poison. So then he would die.
So like, where would they? Would they like, poke him in
Just
the
in the
neck or
crowd,
something?
like maybe in the thigh, finger, anywhere. The poison just has to
Okay.
be injected somewhere. So
Just
I'm
like prick
assuming,
you.
yeah, so I'm assuming he could just be walking the streets of Cuba. Maybe people are taking pictures, wanting autographs. Just bump into him, poke him with that little tiny needle, and then just inject his system with toxins, and he just dies.
It's like the Have you ever seen the Kingsman?
Yeah.
I think it's like the shoes that they wear. It's like they click their heels or something. Their knife pops out the toe.
Oh, the James Bond shoe. Okay, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, like the yeah.
So that one, I think that's probably the most realistic one that they probably should have. I mean, they probably should have tried that one.
If you could get someone close enough, yeah, and a needle fine enough, yeah.
I bet it's definitely happened before, like
That's
government to kill
scary.
spies. I bet, yeah.
Ew. Okay.
All right, this next one is the poisoned milkshake. So,
Okay.
according to Escalante, the closest the CIA ever came to killing Castro was a deadly dessert drink in 1963. The attempt went awry when the pill stuck to the freezer where the waitress slash assassin at the hub. I can't say that. Waiter slash
assassin.
assassin.
There you
I
go.
can't say it. As the Havana Hilton was supposed to retrieve it. When he tried to unstick it, the capsule ripped open and just went all over the freezer.
So, like, why would you put it in the freezer? Like, someplace it'd get stuck.
I have no idea. Maybe
It'd
because
be so, like,
remember, like Castro's like super paranoid about
yeah,
everything.
yeah,
So if the less like him reaching on like the waiter slash assassin reaching under tables or like putting, grabbing contain, if you're just in a freezer making it, you can't really see what
yeah.
he's doing. You're like, oh, why would
Yeah, but, like, why would it just be, like, the plain capsule? Like, it wouldn't be, like, in a bag or something to protect it from, like, getting, I don't know, like, dropped or,
I don't
like
know. They should have. I don't know. It's just he can't be killed. He's unkillable.
Well, they have a lot of loopholes in these assassination plots.
Yeah, they do. I said it's like Tom and Jerry or something.
Yeah, like the Roadrunner or,
Mhm.
like, Wile E. Coyote, yeah.
Mhm. Okay, this next one is the handkerchief with a deadly bacteria, just covered in deadly bacteria. So the
Gross.
CIA was like obsessed with covering Castro in bacteria and toxins for some reason. But they also considered giving him a germ-covered handkerchief that would make him very ill.
Oh my.
Yeah, he would die eventually from
So
breathing in
someone
the.
was just, like, gonna give him this how would you get that handkerchief into his compound?
I have no clue what they were thinking. I don't think it
Here's a gift for you.
a hanky.
Ha it's not a cigar, it's a hanky.
Oh, a hanky.
Oh, thank
Okay,
you.
next one. Again, we're back to the cigars.
Okay.
Contaminated cigar. So they gave up with the bomb in the cigar, right? So
Mhm.
this next idea was to poison it instead. Wow. The CIA. So this plan got pretty far.
Okay.
This plot. I should just call it plots. This plot got
It's a
kind of
plot,
far.
yeah.
So the
Yep.
CIA even went as far as to recruit a double agent who would slip Castro a cigar filled with botulin. Botulin. Botulin? How would you
I think
think
it's
to
like
say it?
I think it's Bylin.
Botulin.
Botulin?
Let's say
Something like
botulin.
that. Okay.
Sounds better. So botulin is a toxin that would kill the leader very quickly. The double agent was already given the cigars in February of 1961, but he apparently just got cold feet. They never made it to Castro, the cigars. We don't
Well,
know where
think
they
about,
are.
like, how terrifying that would be, though, to even, like, because you know, if you're the one that's sent to give him these cigars, like, you're in his compound, like, they know your face, they know who you are,
Mhm.
allegedly, right?
Yep.
Like, they know that those cigars came from you. Like, it's pretty obvious, like, they could trace it back to you. So, yeah, I'd be scared too,
I would be
right?
scared too.
Yeah.
So this happened just a year after Castro like seized power. So botulin is a toxin strong enough to kill anybody who just put one in their mouth. So your mouth
That's scary.
just absorbs so quickly. Yeah,
Wow.
so it's unclear of what happened to the cigars. I don't know where they are, so just nobody
Donate on just found cigars. Just don't, like, walk down the street and pick up a cigar.
always have
Just,
a
like
poison tester. That's what I would say.
don't they still do that for, like, the president and stuff?
I
Do they?
I don't know. I don't think it's
Okay.
just like a person in a jester hat, just like standing by the president while he eats and like
No,
eating
but
the bite. I don't know what they do, but I'm
was it the
sure they do it.
was it the jester that used to eat the poison test? I thought it was, like, a different person than the jester
I
that
would probably
tested
have.
poison
I
stuff.
think it is, but if I was a ruler, I probably would have the jester also be the
That's your
poison
only
test.
form of entertainment, though. There's no TV, there's no computers. You just have a
That's
guy.
true. I
You're
just
gonna
have a guy like acting out Seinfeld episodes in front of
yep,
me.
yep.
That's so
It
lame.
just has,
Okay.
like, wigs. It just changes up for each character.
That might be entertaining. Okay, this next plot is pretty entertaining. It's the mafia ice cream plot. So in mid-March of 1961, mafia contacts of the CIA came the closest to anyone to carrying out an assassination on Castro.
I
So
mean, yeah,
this
leave it to the
is
mafia. They like
I know. So this is according to Tim Weiner's. I think it's Weiner. Maybe it's Weiner. Let's say
whiner.
Weiner, not Wiener. Tim Weiner's History of the CIA. His book is Legacy of the Ashes. So this is what Weiner says. So they gave poison pills and thousands of dollars to one of the CIA's most prominent Cubans, Tony Verona. Weiners writes, Verona managed to hand off the vial of poison to a restaurant worker in Havana, who was to slip it in Castro's ice cream. Cuban intelligence officers later found the vial in an icebox, frozen to the coils. And
Okay.
Castro famously loved ice cream and skinny dipping and cigars and UPS outfits in his beard.
Yeah.
So there's different versions of this story. Escalante recalls. So Escalante says it happened in 1963, and with a chocolate milkshake instead of ice cream. One story says that the pills were not discovered by Cuban intelligence, but instead they spilled out in freezer and rendered useless. We talked about that earlier.
So is this like the same?
Yeah,
Is
they
this
just
like
intertwine.
okay? So this is like the same one as like the milkshake. It's just like different like plot lines for it. You mean? Or because it sounds a lot like how like the guy got the pill stuck to the freezer in
Yeah,
the
I think it's
restaurant.
the same, but this is one of the versions is the CIA had it with a double agent, and the
Okay.
other one is the mafia.
Huh.
Oh, this is a quote. I thought this was a funny quote.
Okay.
If surviving assassination attempts were an Olympic event, I would win the gold medal. Fidel Castro.
So did he know about all these then? Like
Yes, he
did
was
oh
extremely
okay.
paranoid. I've seen pictures of him in public. He would wear like a very thick bulletproof vest underneath his
Mhm.
UPS outfit. So this is just more information about the mafia involving with Castro because it was confusing what I had written down. So, according to CIA documents, the so-called family jewels that were declassified in 2008, one assassination attempt on Fidel Castro prior to the Bay of Pigs invasion involved noted American mobsters Johnny Roselli, Salvatore Giancana, and Santo Trafficante. So, in September of 1960, Momo Salvatore Giancana, a successor of Al Capone's in the
Oh.
Chicago outfit, and Miami syndicate leader Santo Trafficante. They were both on the FBI's 10 most wanted list at the time. They were indirectly contacted by the CIA about the possibility of Fidel Castro's assassination. Johnny Roselli, a member of the Las Vegas syndicate, was used to get access to mafia bosses. The go-to between from the CIA was Robert Mayhew, who introduced himself as a representative of the several international businesses in Cuba that were expropriated by Castro. On September 14th of 1960, Mayhew met with Roselli in a New York City hotel and offered him $150,000
Jeez.
to for the removal of Castro. James O'Connell, who identified himself as one of Mayhew's associates, but who actually was the chief of the CIA's Operational Support Division, was present during the meeting. The declassified documents did not reveal if Roselli, Giancana, or Trafficante accepted a down payment for the job. But according to the CIA files, it was Giancana who suggested poison pills as a mean to doctor Castro's food or drinks. Such pills manufactured by the CIA Technical Services Division. People should look that up. Again, CIA's Technical Services Division, pretty cool stuff. They like invent all the gadgets and gizmos and weird ways to kill people.
Oh, it's like
They
James Bond.
exactly like
Let's
James
go.
Bond. It's like is it Q or M? I think it's Q. Were given to Giancana's nominee named Juan Orta. Giancana recommended Orta as being an official in the Cuban government who had access to Castro. Allegedly, after several unsuccessful attempts to introduce the poison in Castro's food, Orta abruptly demanded to be let out of the mission, handing over the job to another unnamed participant. Later, a second attempt was mounted through Giancana and Trafficante using Dr. Anthony Verona, the leader of the Cuban exile Junta, or JUNTA, who had, according to Trafficante, become disaffected with the apparent ineffectual progress of the Junta. Verona requested $10,000 in expenses and $1,000 worth of communications equipment. However, it is unknown how far the second attempt went, as the assassination attempt was cancelled due to the launching of the Bay of Pigs invasion
Ooh.
On October 26th of 2017, declassified documents revealed that U.S. Attorney General Robert Kennedy hesitated to recruit the mafia in assassination attempts on Castro due to his pushback against organized crime. So that was Robert Kennedy's whole thing. He was the Attorney General, yes, and he was very critical of the mafia and was trying to break them up and end them. But it's weird because the whole conspiracy theory of why Kennedy was actually elected was because of the mafia.
Yeah, there's a lot of interesting ties. I don't know, but it
Mhm.
wasn't Robert that was elected, right? So it was like maybe he had something against them, and
I don't know.
I'm kind of scared, honestly, to say anything about the mafia. I don't want
Oh, they just do like black market stuff now over the internet.
That's
They're,
still scary, though.
oh yeah, I don't think they're as powerful as they once were, but I mean, we don't know.
So does that basically say that like both of those attempts with the ice cream and the pills were with the mafia? Then is that like kind of what they're
Yeah, their
saying?
idea was
Okay.
Sam Giancana's idea was to using putting poison into his food, and they tried it multiple
Mhm.
times, just never
Okay.
worked either time.
Just got stuck in the
Mhm.
freezer.
But that's all I got. If people want to look more into this, learn more stuff, correct me if I'm wrong, stuff like that, you can look up 300 or not 300, sorry, 638 Ways to Kill Castro. It's a documentary film. It's really cool. You can look up the Church Committee. That's again the Senate committee to unearth uncover the CIA ways that they tried to kill Castro. Um, or I guess you can just search it on
Was that like
Wikipedia.
on Netflix or something, or was it?
I think you have to buy it, but you can get it
Oh,
on
do you?
Prime and stuff. You can order it on Prime.
Okay, Amazon Prime.
Mhm.
Yeah, I kind of want to watch it now.
I mean, again, take it with a grain of salt. Take
There may or
anything.
may
Take
not have been this many
Yep. Take everything with a grain of salt.
words to live by.
Hmm.
Okay, so do you want to talk about something a little bit lighter for the second half of this episode?
Yeah, instead of assassination attempts from the CIA. Yeah.
That'd be nice. Yeah. So, did you ever play with Play-Doh as a child?
Yeah, we used to make it and
Yeah.
buy
Oh, you made
it.
it like homemade stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So, do you know the history of Play-Doh, like where it started at all?
Can't say I do.
Okay.
I'm assuming it's probably like an accidental make, like an ice cream cone or stuff like that. Like
Kind
an accidental invention.
but not really.
Okay.
Okay, so let's get into it. So, according to the book Timeless Toys, Classic Toys and Playmakers Who Created Them, written by Tim Walsh, in the late 1920s, Cleo McVicker was working for the Cincinnati, Ohio-based Kutol Products Soap Company. So I think it's Kutol. It's Kutol.
I'd say Kutal. Yeah,
Kutol?
Kutal.
Okay. Okay. So the company was close to going out of business. Then in 1933, Cleo McVicker negotiated a contract with Kroger, the grocery store, to manufacture ready-made wallpaper cleaner that would be marketed and sold in their stores.
So
So to help,
what does it do? It just gets the goop off of the wall if you're
yeah.
removing wallpaper? Is that what it was supposed to be?
So back in like the early 1900s and stuff, like before that, like places like your homes used to be lit by like candles and like heated with coal. So soot would get on the walls, like it'd stain the like soot-covered wallpaper and be dark. It'd get dark
Oh.
and
Yeah, it
dingy.
gets tingy. Yeah.
Yeah. So they decided to save this company that they're going to make this wallpaper cleaner.
So it cleans all that soot and stuff off of the wallpaper.
Yeah,
Okay.
basically, so they never made wallpaper cleaner before, but they're a soap company. So it says that Cleo turned to Kutol Products, his brother Noah, a product developer, and came up with a winning formula. The result was a non-toxic, malleable, clay-like compound made from water, salt, and flour that kept the company afloat for another 20 years.
It just seems insane to me that nobody's ever mixed the right amount of water, salt, and flour to make Play-Doh.
And just to make this dough, yeah. Well, I suppose you could have just like on accident, but never thought to use it to clean your walls, right? Like this was if people didn't know what was in
Oh,
it,
that's true.
they just sold it as wallpaper cleaner.
Mhm.
So like basically just like push the dough on your wall and then take the soot off, kind of like silly putty with newspaper.
Yeah.
With it.
That's
Yeah.
fun.
That's fun. So by the early 1950s, sales of Kutol Products wallpaper cleaner began to plummet. So like people started getting away from coal and like wallpaper and stuff.
Electricity.
Yep, electricity. Then after World War II, families converted their coal furnaces to oil and gas, so then no more need for the wallpaper cleaner.
Mm-hmm.
So following Cleo's death in 1949, his son Joseph McVicker took over the business and faced the challenge of keeping the company going. So around 1955, McVicker's sister-in-law, Kay Zufall, a school teacher, convinced him to think about their product as like something for kids. I think they're like had a bunch of this wallpaper cleaner, and then he kind of gave her some just to, like have or whatever, and she used it. She like was playing with it and was like, this would be good for kids. So McVicker went over to Kay's like school and saw like how like they're making little statues and like little cute little things like playing with it. So then he went back to his headquarters to reformulate and repurpose the product they're already making. So they could still use the same equipment and manufacturing space, and they just changed it. I think just added colorant and changed it a little bit so it was, easier to play with.
Mhm.
And so then they started marketing it as a child's toy instead of wallpaper cleaner.
Fun. So were they still a soap cleaner, like soap company, or they just completely changed? They're like, we do kids' toys now.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, so in 1956, McVicker established Rainbow Crafts Company Inc. So instead of the soap company, it's now Rainbow Crafts Company.
Rolls off.
So-
It's more kid friendly.
Just a little bit better than soap. So Rainbow Crafts repackaged the product, now known as Play-Doh, so they renamed it, marketed it to elementary schools in the greater Cincinnati area. By 1959, Play-Doh was available in 3 colors, red, blue, and yellow. And then McVicker wanted his product to reach a much larger audience, not just schools, like home use and stuff, but he lacked like advertising. He didn't know how to advertise it really, and like he didn't really have much of a fund for it. So he decided to introduce Play-Doh to Bob Keeshan, otherwise known as Captain Kangaroo, which is a hugely popular kids show back then. My dad talked about it. He was a big fan of it as a kid.
Captain Kangaroo.
Captain Kangaroo, yeah. So after, I think it was like once every week, they'd have Play-Doh on there, like they'd kind of like use it, or, like advertise it on there.
Oh.
So then so super smart. So then after that, the sales skyrocketed, and Rainbow Crafts basically struggled to keep up with the demand
with
for the new toy.
Play-Doh? Wow.
Yeah, so they sold so much of it because of the
Captain Kangaroo.
Captain Kangaroo. Yeah,
That's a national show, right?
Yeah, I believe so, yeah. So in 1960, accessories became part of the Play-Doh line when McVicker hired 2 engineers to develop a product that could be used in multiple ways. So the result was the Fun Factory, that with minimal force, you could extrude the Play-Doh through various shapes and designs. So you just get long strings of like whatever, like stars and...
Oh, like the creepy spaghetti, where you could make like hair.
Spaghetti, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. So then by 1964, Rainbow Crafts was shipping more than 1 million cans of Play-Doh per year.
That's a lot.
Yeah. Then General Mills purchased the company 1 year later. Then in 1972, General Mills placed Play-Doh under the Kenner brand name, and Kenner continued to manufacture Play-Doh until it was acquired by Hasbro in 1991. So it's changed hands many times.
Wow, General Mills used to own it. That's weird because they make cereal and the
Yeah.
that biscuit kid. Was the biscuit baby? What?
Biscuit what?
It is he's like white and he looks like dough, and you touch his tummy.
Oh, Pillsbury
and he, like,
Doughboy?
Oh yeah, that's what it is. It's not the Pillsbury Doughboy.
What?
I could think of it. Not biscuit
Is that what you're thinking of?
Yeah, because it like giggles
Okay.
when you touch his little tummy, right? It makes the biscuits.
Makes a biscuit. Yeah.
It's not Biscuit Baby, but it's a Pillsbury Doughboy. Okay, yeah.
Yep.
I think Biscuit Baby sounds better.
Better than Pillsbury Doughboy?
Yeah.
Pillsbury Biscuit Baby.
Don't have pills because just do Biscuit Baby.
Biscuit Baby.
Isn't he a chef though? Because he wears like a little chef hat.
I think so.
I think it's kind of mean that everybody calls him like the Pillsbury Doughboy when he's really a chef.
I
I
don't know.
The Pillsbury Chef Blob.
That sounds much more enticing.
It's very ticklish.
Chef Blob. Okay, moving on.
Moving on. Biscuit Baby. Okay, moving on. Butter me up and call me a biscuit baby. Okay, moving on. Moving on.
Sure? You got any more?
No. None of them are worth to repeat.
Oh boy. Okay. So today Hasbro still has Play-Doh and sells Play-Doh, and it's estimated that since the product was officially introduced in 1955, more than 2 billion cans of Play-Doh has been sold worldwide.
Oh my gosh.
Yep. And then in 1998, Play-Doh was inducted into the Strong's National Toy Hall of Fame.
Where is the National Hall of Fame for the toys?
For the toys. Let me see.
Yeah, Play-Doh's got a bunch of cool like accessory toys. I remember I used to have like a pizza maker with Play-Doh.
Okay.
So before I
Yeah.
actually made pizza for my real first job as a teenager, I had made pizza as a child for Play-Doh. So you could have like there's like a pepperoni cutter maker, and there was like
Mhm.
like the cheese maker, like shredded cheese. Basically
So
like
with
the
the
spaghetti.
grater, they just like cut
Yep,
it.
yep.
Yep.
That, and there was like mushrooms and anchovy like stamps that you could you just like make a pizza
Yeah.
out of
Yeah.
Play-Doh. Don't eat it.
No, I think that's partially why kids taste it all the time, because like it smells
It's just
good, and then
it only smells good when you first open that can, like the can up.
yeah,
Not when
fair
like
enough.
all your dead skin cells and bacteria have been
Oh,
touching it
ew.
forever and it makes it all weird. But whoa, that smells good when you first open it. Ooh.
Yeah. So the National Toy Hall of Fame is in Manhattan Square Drive in Rochester, New York.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it looks really cool. It's like a bunch of like brightly colored blocks stacked up. It's a fun looking building.
I
It looks
just
like a
feel
toy
like
museum.
all the toys I ever played with as a child are now in the Hall of Fame, like the Toy Hall of Fame.
I don't know. I think it's only a few every year that
Or
actually get inducted
inducted.
in
Well, that
there.
makes sense. I'm only
Mhm.
familiar with the NFL, like the Football Hall of Fame, and only a few people get inducted every year, so it would
Uh-huh.
only make sense that the Toy Hall of Fame followed the same rules as the NFL Hall of Fame.
Ew.
Can't just be all willy-nilly with the rules.
Of course not. I want to see if they had one this year that went in there. Let me
Yeah,
see.
what's the 2021? Probably like face masks, hand sanitizer.
Those aren't kids' toys.
That
Those are
could
just toilet
be
paper.
the hat.
Just
The
a roll of toilet
no,
paper.
the yeah, roll of toilet paper. Um, Roll of toilet paper is the gift that keeps on giving. That's a fun toy. You can be a mummy.
That's true.
You could draw on it. You can shove it in your clothes. I
You
can't
can
think
prank
of
your friends for drawing a spider on it.
yeah, you can stick it to the bottom of people's shoes,
Mm-hmm.
make them feel embarrassed when they walk out of the bathroom. And then the masks can just be used as like a Barbie. It could be like a Barbie hammock.
Yeah, I guess it's about
That's
the
what
same
all those
size.
that's what all, when the coronavirus is going to be all done and we're all done with it. No more. All those masks are just going to be given to children to be used as hammocks for their toys.
Yeah. I did see there was a guy that sanitized a bunch of discarded like those blue masks, the surgical masks.
Mhm.
He like took them apart and then disinfected it and then made like shredded them up to make this like fluffy looking ottoman looking thing.
Interesting.
I was like, that's kind of a cool way to reuse them. Because otherwise, what else are you gonna do with them, right?
I said
So,
just get hammocks for rats.
oh, just go to New York and it's just like a hotel for rats. There's just like hammocks of masks
Or
everywhere.
you're like in the subway station and all of a sudden you see
Yep.
like a rat in in a hammock
This little
as a
hammock. He
mask.
has like
Yeah.
yeah, it has just like a
Ugh.
little cup full of like pop. He's sipping it with a little umbrella,
Ugh.
living his best life. I
Nightmares.
love it.
Nightmares.
So in 2020, the toy that was inducted was Baby Nancy.
Never heard of her.
It's an older toy.
Why does
It
she have
says
to be named Baby Nancy?
in 1968.
Oh,
So I
wow.
guess it was inducted in response to the Watts riot. Lewis S. Smith II and Robert Hall. They worked with civil rights activists and community members to form Operation Bootstrap with the goal of empowerment and social and economic equality.
Oh, cool.
In 1968, Operation Bootstrap launched Shindana Toys, a community-owned company dedicated to make toys that reflect Black pride, Black talent, and most of all, Black enterprise. That's cool.
Oh, she comes with cool I like her little dresses.
Yeah.
Cute. Oh, she's a cute doll.
Yeah, it's a cute little baby doll. I like it.
That was a nice one.
Yeah, like other ones, I think there's like the Game Boy. I think there's a lot of Barbies for sure in there. The 2007 was Atari,
Oh, wow.
2600 game system. Alphabet Blocks was 2003.
Wow.
A Ball was in 2009.
A ball?
A ball,
How was
just a
that
ball.
not the first thing to be in there?
That's a good question. In 1998 was Barbie.
A
The
ball?
bicycle.
Hey, a ball should have been before Barbie. That is the dumbest. No.
We click on it.
How
So
is a
this
no?
just the ball. It's just like it has like lumped in everything. It's like rubber band ball, football, basketball, kickball. It's everything.
A ball is so old. It is so old that
Mhm.
like kids used to use like pig bladders.
Yeah.
That's
Yep.
yeah. Barbie wasn't invented until like the late 50s, early 60s. Ball should have
Yep.
been first. Should have been like obvious known.
Hoop at a stick. Just kidding. I thought maybe like a doll too, like dolls and like balls. I think were really
Dolls and balls. That could have just been the whole ticket
Alright.
for that whole the first thing, dolls and balls.
Yeah, so then the bicycle was 2000.
That seems insane too.
Oh, a blanket was 2011.
That should have been the first. Okay, is a blanket a toy?
Here's a definition.
Yeah.
Children have played with blankets ever since ancient agrarians domesticated woolly mammals and spun their coats for fabrics. In imaginative play and make-believe, kids have discovered many playful uses for the blanket. It fills in for king's robe, bride's veil, superhero's cape, a Roman soldier's cloak, a princess's flowing gown, and a wizard's flying carpet. Thrown over a table, it forms a tent. Draped around two chairs, becomes a fort. On top of the carpet, it serves as a safe island surrounded by sea monsters. In puppet shows, the blanket substitutes for theater curtains. For a magician, the blanket conceals the secrets of a show. And in tug of war, the blanket gets top billing. It is also suitable for tossing toys in the air, for parachuting them back down to earth.
Okay, then a stick. If we're gonna use that, that's the criteria. A stick should be in there too. Is a stick in there?
Let me see.
Because you can throw the stick. You can use the stick as a snake. The stick as a sword. The stick as a baseball bat.
Yeah, I feel like a stick would be the first one.
Is a stick in it?
I haven't found that yet, but I found a cardboard box.
Oh, why? All right, people. We're going to email these people for the 2021 submissions and we're going to add stick. We're going to rally for a stick. Oh, it is in there?
Guess what year?
Like 2008.
Exactly.
Is it? Shut up.
It's 2008. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Good job.
I just want to say that I never win anything, and I'm glad I won this.
Oh, it's great. Oh, it's fantastic. Yeah, it's fun to look through what they have in the National Toy Hall of Fame.
It's just National Toy Hall of Fame.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're in Rochester, New York, you know where to go.
Fun to see, actually. I'd like to go walk through there.
There's things on the list that are ahead of that for me, but that is fine.
I mean, if you go there, like, yeah, I don't know. I think it'd be fun.
It would be fun, but there are things on the list that are ahead of that.
Fair enough.
That is okay.
Okay, guys, if you'd like to follow us on Instagram, check out the companion photos that we have for almost all of our episodes. Check us out on Instagram at Foolish Wanderers Podcast, and please follow and like our posts if you'd like to see more. And then if you'd like to check us out on YouTube, it's Foolish Wanderers Podcast. We upload all of our episodes to YouTube as well, so please like our videos and subscribe so you can, again, watch all of our episodes. And if you want to have any suggestions for future episodes or give any feedback, please email us at fwplisteners@gmail.com.
And remember, new episodes out every single Wednesday from wherever you get your podcasts. And Wednesdays are for the fools. That's my new catchphrase. Do you like it?
I like it. We're gonna put it on a t-shirt and wear it. Alright, guys. Thanks so much for listening. We'll see you guys next time.
Bye.
Bye. Good job on stick. That was good.
I was like, I can't believe that's a goddamn blanket and ball.
A cardboard box.
That's just
I'm just surprised it took so
insane.
long to get them in there.
I bet Barbie just like the people at Mattel were just like they just bribed Barbie's way in.
I mean, it is a classic toy.
But I mean,
oh, it was the first one. So it started in 1998.
And it's Barbie.
That was the one. Barbie was the first one to get inducted.
You know what? I didn't give a rat's ass about Barbie until they made High School Musical ones, and Zac Efron was one. If I'm being totally honest, I don't care about Barbie.
That's fine.
Doesn't she have like she's like a name and a job and stuff like that, right?
The real lady?
Yeah.
I think, isn't it Barba?
Is Barba?
Barbara.
Oh, Barbara. I was like, who the hell is Barbara? I was like, no wonder why she goes by Barbie if her name is Barbara.
I think that's a real lady's name, the real kid's name, right?
Barbara?
Barbara.
Yeah, Barbara is, but not Barbara.
Barbara.
I just heard it wrong.
Barbara.
Just like I heard Pillsbury Doughboy
Oh wait,
wrong.
no. Barbie's first name is Barbara Millicent Roberts.
Her middle name is Millicent?
Millicent. Yeah, that's Barbie's name, and Barbie's her nickname. What was her real name? The actual kid that was based on.
It's named after a child.
Yeah, it was the creator's daughter.
Oh, wow. Like, I had a Barbie plane and everything when I was little, but I just used it with, I
cute.
put Beanie Babies in it instead of, like, I'm not kidding you when I said I didn't give a rat's ass about Barbie. I really didn't give a
good.
crap about her. I was like, buy me, I was like, I had a Barbie car, like a convertible that I got from a garage sale, and I just put Beanie Babies in it. I had a boat, a Barbie boat, that I just put Beanie Babies in it. Basically, I had like Barbie house, Barbie plane, Barbie car, any mode of transportation for freaking Barbie, but I put Beanie Babies on it.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I mean, it's better to mix and match. I feel like gets your creativity going.
I never played with Barbies until, like I said, Zac Efron was a Barbie, and then I did.
Yeah, I always hated baby dolls. I could never.
I don't like the eyes with when you put the eyes roll, and I like
Or when they eat
don't
or
like
talk.
that either.
I hate that.
I never liked it. I always liked plushy, like soft things. So
Mhm.
I had like soft, like a lovey. I had a soft, like a baby doll, but she was all just, like soft and cuddly.
Mhm.
I liked her. No movable like glass eyes, but so creepy.
So the creator of Barbie was Ruth Handler, and she came across a German toy doll called. Yeah, that was the
Impressive.
creator. I thought it was a guy, so
I'm
I'm
glad
surprised to see it was a girl.
I'm surprised too because it's in like the late 50s,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yep. So then she named Barbie and Ken after her two kids, Barbara and Kenneth. Yeah, but she saw a German toy doll called Wild Lily, which is an adult figure doll that was exactly what Handler had in mind. So she purchased 3 of them and gave one to her daughter and took the others back to Mattel. So
Love it.
thus Barbie was born.